I don't know. I said live stream, but hey, welcome back to the Off the Clock Show. Joined again with Shawn Gervais from OrbisX CRM, as well as Marshall Hill from the Pints Policy Podcast and Hyper Clean Car Care Products, which really saved my ass today. Thank you. My wife decided she was going to go pick up her daughter today, and I was looking at the truck, and I don't mind when it's a mess, if it's me personally. But my wife was like, "Ooh, this is embarrassing," because sometimes she gets in and she's like, "Have you not been to the shop in a while?" I'm like, well, I went and dropped off some inventory, stuff like that, but the shop kind of runs itself now. She's like, you get free detailing though, right? And so I have to step up and do it. And then I love cleaning the car myself personally, but recently we've been in the middle of a bunch of renos, and I've been using my truck for the utility part of the SUV has really been kicking in, let's just say. And so we've been doing gardening again, of course, and I just moved like 42 bags of sheep shit. That's not even a joke. And I know that's not the kind of thing you should probably throw in the back of a Range Rover, but it is what it is, And so, anyway, it was a mess. But I said, you know what? I was looking at the trunk when I was done, and I said, I'm going to just really deep dive on the trunk. This trunk, when I open it up, is going to be amazing. Because what happens is I go pick up the kids from school. I have to pop the trunk so they can throw their bags in. And all the lineup of cars, and they all know, oh, that guy, he owns Auto World. They all know it at the school. And so when I pop the trunk open and they go to throw their bags in and it's filthy, I don't know, it says something. It'd be different if they didn't know who I was, you know what I mean? But they know who I am. So I was like, I'm going to make this trunk look immaculate. But on my way out, I'm like, okay, so my wife's going to do the pickup. She's going to go there now. She's going to have to deal with the same ridicule. I don't have time to do a full-on wash. I just really didn't have the time. But your Eco saved my life. I'm telling you.
Quick and easy, huh?
Oh, quick and easy. Yeah. And the thing I love about it, though, is I'm not worried about the exterior of my car. You know what I mean? Like I'm worried about the appearance. What I mean is, it's not one of those products you put on and you're like, okay, if there's a little bit of like dirt and grime or something, like I'm going to have to now bring this into the shop, get the guys to just like buff the whole thing. Like it's, you know what I mean? It's like that reassurance for me is just like, okay, if a bird poops on my car, there's nothing worse. Get the car freshly detailed, get it home. I park in the driveway for a minute. In that 1 minute, there's a bird or something that's been watching me, and it just...
Brutal.
Yeah. And then I got that one spot, and I'm like, take out all of this and that, pressure washer, everything. It's a lot.
It's too much.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah, it is. So it's just quick and easy. So I keep a bottle in the car at all times.
There you go. That's the way to do it. Mm-hmm.
And what I usually do is when I run into somebody and I'm like, oh, da-da-da, telling them about, car, this, that, the other thing, I just gift it to them. And then I'm like, no problem. And then I, boom, throw another one in the truck later. But anyways, so hats off to you guys. You guys saved my ass and saved some embarrassment for my wife at this point.
Not everybody understands the easiness, if that's a word, of waterless, right? And so Eco One, we call it a waterless rinseless, but it is patterned in a sense after a true waterless, right? Like go back to my early beginnings of 2006, right? 2008 when those first products came out.
Yeah.
The waterless, it's spray, take a microfiber towel, you rub, you got to flip your towel or have a second towel because that first wipe you are picking up. And people are like, well, you can't wash a car, you scratch it. Like, well, sure, if you keep rubbing the shit all over the car, you'll scratch it. But if you'll take your first wipes, you'll see all the dirt. You just flip your towel or take a second towel, and then you wipe it, the streets off.
I do the second towel most times, but if I'm out on the road or something like that, I usually keep a couple microfibers. But if one of them, sometimes what happens is I've used the microfiber already and I can't remember, what side did I do that on? Yep. So in that case, but I usually try and color code them. I keep two different ones. But in that case, I just shake it off, everything, make sure it's good, rub my hand on it. And then in that case, I'll use one, but 2 micros and you're good to go. Yeah.
Oh, we had a guy in earlier. He's a bass fisherman. Buys it for his boat, right? You pull it up out of the water.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yep. When I had a boat, that's what I did. Just pull it up, spray it down. When you go, you're pulling it up out of the water. You got to pull the plug, let it drain. I mean, there's stuff you're doing anyway. So it's just easy enough, and everybody's going to hate me, but it is what it is. On the boat, we kept beach towels. We didn't keep microfiber towels.
Yeah. It's true.
We didn't care, So an old beach towel is one of the best things you can do to wipe down a boat. And when I say old, I mean like 10, 12 years old. Like there's not a lot in it still, right? I mean, I'm talking an old towel. Those are the best, you know.
Yeah,
They've been in the
that's
back of the
true.
boat for years, and you just grab them and throw some Eco One on and go to town.
Yeah, it's true. You know what though? It works in other applications too. I have a buddy. He's a realtor, and he said before his open houses, and I said, "Well, what do you use it for, though?" You know, and he was like, "Oh man," he said, "the shower sometimes." He said,
Oh
and I
yeah.
said, "Yeah, but you're in a shower. Like you could just use the water." And he explained to me. He said, "No, no, no. When people come through these open houses, they all want to open the shower and take a look around and see what condition it's in." And he said, if they see like water droplets and stuff, he said for some reason it psychologically does something to them. And he said, so I just use a little of this, and he does the same thing, just microfiber, boom, 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 and then he's good to go. But I never thought of that. To me, I was like, you're in the shower, just use the water that's there, you know. But I guess psychologically, they want to see like a dry shower. Almost like it's a new house. Never
You don't ever spray anything on your shower, like after every wash, right? Every time we shower, or whatever, like we've got a microfiber drying towel in there, right? Our Orange Crush, and so we wipe it down real quick, right? But about every couple weeks or so, I'll go through and spray it with Slick. I love to spray my shower doors with Slick and just keep some protection on there.
100%. Yeah. Well, see, me, I don't have to do that anymore because I coated ours. I took a bottle of Trace and I was like, this is like good for life now. You know what I mean? If it's good for cars outside with all the harsh elements, I was like, in a shower where there's just a family of 4, I was like, one and done. That's it. You know what I mean? But yeah, that stuff's amazing though. And that's where I think a lot of people miss that mark with the application of things. And so when they're reaching out to their customers, we're so heavily focused on the cars. But each of your customers has a house. Some of your customers will have rental properties. Some of your customers will have an uncle that's got 100 rental properties. Like, you never know. The applications, or I should say, not the application, because, yeah, the applications are plentiful with products like HyperClean, and that's why it makes so much sense to jump on board. And once we have the new customer portal that's launching, and you have the opportunity to sell direct to customer, automated, it's going to be a game changer for you.
Absolutely. Revive on the interior of a house.
My goodness.
Nails it.
Exactly. And it's those kinds of things that, I can't tell you how many instances throughout a house. Like, think about how many rooms are in a house. Think about how much surface area.
Many people struggle with their glass and their mirrors inside their house. Yeah, glass cleaner, our glass cleaner.
Yeah. Like, man, a great place to start, find every superhost Airbnb that's in your area and just reach out. Reach out to them. Be like, hey, da-da-da. Who takes care of your cleaning stuff? Because maybe they do it themselves, maybe they outsource. If they tell you like, oh, we use such and such company. Oh, okay, cool. Reach out to that company and be like, hey, want to make all your maintenance jobs easier for all your Airbnb hosts that you're taking care of? Boom, right there, avenue. If they say they do it themselves, hey, wouldn't you like to cut down your post Airbnb rental time by 20%, 30%, 50%, whatever it is? We've got some products that'll help you out. If you got 10 minutes, I'll shoot you over some information. Send them something. These things take almost no time at all. There's no excuse really, And well, there's lots of excuses people have.
There's lots of excuses. Apparently, the biggest one right now, Shawn, which we've all got to have a laugh. I mean, come on. It is June. It's the middle of June. Yeah. I saw this post earlier, a guy showing a thermostat and saying, I asked my boss if I could get off early. He said he'd fire me. What should I do?
Go back to fucking work.
What? Like,
crazy.
What? What are you guys complaining about? Yeah. There's a guy today I saw complaining about the heat, and he was in jeans and a long sleeve shirt. I'm in shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah, I don't know.
I kind of looked at him like, yeah, man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's the deal, huh? What's the deal right now with everybody complaining about how hot it is? Yeah, well, they get something new, like tired of complaining about okay, let's complain about the heat? Like, what?
About the heat.
What's the deal? Why is so many people in detailing complaining?
Yeah.
Complaining. Bitch, do we go that? I mean, we are off the clock.
We are off the clock.
We call them little bitches? Do we?
Yeah. I think so, because my God, listen, I was wearing, I went out today, I was helping the contractor at a reno, we're final stages, and I'm helping him out, and I'm wearing black jeans, and I was wearing a black sweater this morning, because I thought it was a little chilly. It was according to everybody else, hot. But like I said, like I spent a lot of time in the Caribbean. This heat is normal to me. Like in the evening times, people will come visit us, and they're wearing shorts and t-shirt in the evening time, and my wife and I were wearing like a toque and a coat and stuff like that. You adjust to the temperature, and then that just becomes part of life. I've always liked the heat though. I hate the cold. I'll bitch about the cold. Trust me, I'm a little bitch when it gets too cold. Oh my god, man! But I have arthritis, and so in the hands, it's a different sensation. But the heat, put me on the center of the sun. I'm good. But at the end of the day, if I'm in work mode, I'm in work mode. So this morning, I'm dressed in all black, standing outside in the hot sun. We're planning out this deck with the contractor, and I'm going over stuff. And he's looking at me. He's like, "Man, are you not like hot right now?" Like, no, like I'm fine. You know what I mean? He's like, "Man, I'm dying." He's like, "I was thinking of taking the day off today." I was like, "Well, you better not. Like, you're working on my project today. Like, you better." I was like, "What are you talking about?" And for me, I don't know. Like, I even built a little thing for my laptop that goes around it, so I can sit outside in the sun, do some work and stuff. But man, go down to Auto World for the longest time, man. We didn't have air conditioning in there. Even now we have it, but it's mostly not turned on. We use it in the office primarily, but it's like that's mostly because customers are coming in and yada yada. But it's like, guys, what are you complaining about, man? Like, I don't know. For me, I don't find it that hot. I never found it was a big problem when you're working. If you're working, you're working. I'm gonna get sweaty. I'm gonna, I don't know. What are your thoughts, man? What do you?
Well, my thoughts are, you sweat, you're working, it's hot, it's summer. Like,
You're working. Like, what do you?
that's what I loved about it.
Yeah. Like, that's how you know you've done a hard day's work. It's
Exactly.
Like, you're all sweaty. You're like,
Yeah.
something to be proud of, But it's like,
Sun's out, guns out.
yeah, sun's out, guns out.
Oh, not too many guns over there. I don't know.
They still count.
Pea shooters.
Pea shooters. There we go. Yeah, fair.
BB
But,
guns. Sun's out, BB guns out.
BB guns out. Jeez, that'll be the title of the episode. There we go. BB guns out. But yeah, I think that I feel like work in general, people they're looking for reasons to bitch about it. People don't want to work.
You think it's been, this is something I definitely keep saying. If it's been so good, we're just not right. Like, there's certain group of people that will just keep going, oh, but this, and you go, yeah, my guy, like, it's been so great. Like,
it's been better than ever, man. Like,
yeah, like I get you bitching about this because you've never had to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just think about that for a second. Like, a lot of people are having to deal with stuff. June 2025. We never thought we would have to do. We really, there's a lot of us that are looking up, going, "Whoa, well, how come? Well, how come people aren't calling me? Well, how come people aren't buying? Well, how come?"
Yeah, I got some serious questions. I saw a post just like that, and that's the one I sent you there, where there was a guy. He 10 years in, he said, and he was polling the group. He said, "Guys, have any of you noticed that it's abnormally slow than normal?" I think the numbers he mentioned, he was at 50,000 last month, and then this month, June, he said we're down to like 10 or 15,000 or something like that. And he's like, "What is going on?" It might have even been less. It might have been like 5 or 7. And he said, "I've been in business 10 years, and nothing's changed. What's going on? Is anyone else experiencing this too?" The first thing that caught my mind is, first off, serious dip. I agree. Without the context of what were your months like before, you mentioned the 50,000, but maybe the month before was like 10. So you dipping down to 7, maybe you just had a really...
And got to point this out, Shawn.
Yeah.
Post was from an anonymous member.
That's true.
So those numbers, like we've talked about in the past,
Yeah.
those numbers are probably pretty fictitious.
Oh, 100%. It's like American Pie, where remember they had this scene where it was like, "How many people did you sleep with over the summer?" And it was like, "Oh, I slept with 6." And it was like, "Oh, when it's guys, you have to do divide by 3, or something. If it's girls, multiply by 3." Exactly, same bullshit. And it's one of those things where it's people. I don't know why people get so obsessed with numbers. Like, they need to make some shit up, because man, I know some detailers in our city right now that they're only doing like $5,000-6,000 a month. When I say only, that's because in comparison to a shop like ours, those numbers, like if we did those numbers, we'd be going bankrupt, because we got to bankroll all our staff, insurance, you name it. But they have a very lean operation, solopreneur, to them, their expenses are probably like $2,500 a month. So he's like, "Fuck, man, I'm doing really good."
Absolutely.
And those numbers are nothing to be ashamed of. You know
No.
what I mean? The problem comes where I think when people transition from that, for example, to a different scenario, move into a shop, now you're taking on other expenses, and you might look at it and be like, Jesus, like I'm only doing 10,000. Yeah, you're in a location now, it's different, it's going to take some time to build up. This guy in this post, this anonymous person, 10 years in, 10 years in, you should have a lot of that shit dialed in. It should be a lot more stable than that. You should have a clear trajectory of growth, things moving in a positive direction all the time. To have a random dip like that, don't go start blaming the economy or asking people like, oh, does anyone else notice a dip like that? Maybe it's people are tighter with their wallets and this and that. And then follow up with a statement saying, nothing's changed. That's the part that took me out. I'm like, of course you're going to see a dip. Nothing's changed. So here's the thing. If nothing changes with your business, all it takes is something to change in someone else's business. Either a new business starts, a new business improves, a new business hires a different marketing company, a new business does something different. Maybe you had a guy that was using shit products before but had great customer service. Now he's called Marshall.
Oh, you took it into the detailing world. I thought you were talking business in general. Like,
this,
you have no idea what's can take in business, like economy. That's what I thought you were talking
true.
like just general business. Like,
yeah, that's true too. But if
you have no way of knowing. You go back to, I've shared this story where I have a local detailer here who's he got, during Corona, a lot of people were in trouble, but they got bailed out, right? I mean, there was a giant bailout. Well, one detailer's dad spoke up and was like, I was a detailer back when the planes hit the buildings. We didn't get bailed out.
Yeah.
So a lot of us that got in and we're in that moment of 2020, we don't know how to swim. We really don't.
That's true. Yeah.
Like we've been shot through this rocket. This like water slide in a sense of like shoot it. You really, there were some people, there was no way they could have failed. It was so awesome.
It's
right?
true. You could have like left a customer's car dirty, spit in their face, and like whatever, and they'd still be
We
like,
sanitized it. Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, it's like, I'll see you next week. It's true. And then people are, that's why I look at someone like Dijon. We mentioned him quite a bit on the episodes, because for me, he's a perfect use case. He's someone that he was in a city. He was in a big city too, and he was doing really well there. Circumstances, he was moving out to the other part of the country, basically starting over. That's the equivalent of starting a brand new business from scratch. His contacts weren't there. He took on new products, started working with you, buying HyperClean, right? He was, everything was like boom, 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 all new for him. He's in an area, and now he's built it up and he's grown. He's been listening to the episode, implementing things that we talk about, coming up with his own strategies as well, doing a fusion. He's crushing it. And you look at that and you say, okay, that wasn't happening during, like if that happened during 2020 and, he reached the level he's at now, I'd be like, a lot of that's attributed to his work, but maybe a lot of it's attributed to the fact, like you just mentioned, that just the market was just there. It was just...
There was so much market. We call it fat? When there's so much fat, right?
Yeah, there was so much.
You gurgle it.
Now...
Right? Like, you waste it. Right?
Exactly.
It's too much.
There's so much.
Right?
It's true. But now you look, and it's like Dijon did that now, when that fruit isn't there. That extra fat isn't
tells you
there.
People still can, right?
Absolutely, 100%. You know what I mean? And that's where it's like, when I see a post like that, 10 years in, nothing's changed. And I'm like, right there, that's the problem. And you're asking other people as if, A, you think that they're going to have the solution. B, anyone that has the solution is going to be on there replying to anonymous poster, giving you the fucking keys to success for some reason. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? I just don't understand what the purpose of a post like that is. And I understand that person's probably desperate, going through some things like, oh my God, like what am I going to do next month or whatever. But this whole attitude of nothing's changed, I'm doing everything I was doing before.
Nothing's changed. Let's go back to that. Right? Yeah. Let's chat about that for a second. Nothing's changed.
Yeah.
So to me, like when I hear that, I go, yeah, he had it. Rich, I'll something like I said, I'll just keep hanging my hat on, right? Like he had it so good for so long,
Yeah.
He didn't even know he was supposed to adapt.
Yeah.
He evidently hasn't been listening to us, right?
No,
He evidently
not.
hasn't been trying to come up with new ideas, right? When one fallacy that a lot of people have is once they get into something, right, and they're like, "Oh man, I got it, and I'm in it," they think it's just gonna keep going, like
Going that way. Yeah.
like what? And it sounds odd, right? It would be awesome, wouldn't it? Like, hey, I can
Yeah.
just keep doing this
Just
over and
like-
over, and I'm just
Yeah.
like my life is set. Like, ha, you peasants!
I
Look at
figured out the
me,
secret.
how great I
made it.
am.
Yeah.
Wait, what happened?
Nothing's changed. I don't
Nothing's
understand.
changed. People aren't calling me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe you weren't as smart as you thought you were.
Yeah. That's
Huh.
the thing, because businesses have to evolve. They have to adapt, whether you want to or not. And that's where us thinking that a business is just in this state of, like it's in a permanent state, like it's frozen and whatever's happening is going to keep happening. You're out of your mind. It's businesses constantly evolve and change, or else they die. That's the reality of it, because things need to adapt. Because as you mentioned, there's so many factors in the marketplace. It's not just in detailing. It's other things. People's purchasing habits, people's access to products, the information they're consuming. Maybe right or wrong. Maybe they're seeing ads that are for some product that they get off Temu that's garbage, but to the customer, maybe they're like, "I'll give it a shot." You know what I mean? And then in the few weeks or months that they're trying out whatever garbage product that is, they're not calling you. And you're now in panic mode, and you're like, "Oh, geez, maybe you close your doors." They're looking for a new detailer. There's so many things that can happen.
So many. Well, and I think here's the play for which we know. We know this is the play. Most people, most detailers go off of people that call in or people that find them and they're looking for a detail.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's generally
true.
how it goes. There's the majority of people that have detailing businesses, I would say there's a massive level when you can see the level up of the ones that really determine their business off of reoccurring customers. That's a level. That's a segment.
Yeah.
The rest of the rest of everybody is they're just whenever somebody's calling. I mean that's really like
They're order takers. That's
they
what it
are.
is.
Yeah, that's a great way of saying it, right? Like we find this in our world where we go and we're trying to talk with a new raw supplier, right? We've got a project coming, right? One of them's like water spot remover, okay? So I'm trying to find the right acid that will go and get water spots the best, okay? And you say, well, acid's acid. No, there's a bunch of different acids, a bunch.
Yeah.
And you know, this is just one example, right? There's polymers, there's all kinds of there's surfactants, it's a massive list.
Yeah.
And so you run into people that they go, oh, okay, well we can do this, but we can't do that. Well, okay, well this comes from here. Well, we can't get that, but we can get you that. Like, it gets very, very confusing, and we have the people that will tell us, that's just like what we were talking about a second ago, where they're like, oh, well, you know, I'm just not sure. I don't think I can't, like, hey, man, are you a salesman?
Yeah.
Or are you just, like you said, an order taker, right? Because order takers don't solve problems.
Yeah.
And there's times that we get into it, and I've got a deadline. I need my problem solved.
100%.
But if you're just an order taker, an internal order taker for a company, you tell me no, you can't get something. Well, then you're not a problem solver. You're not somebody I want to go back to. I don't want to, right? Like, so you got to put that into a detailer mindset and into the world of normal people. If they call you and it's not straight to how you can solve their problem and get that, you know, and it's always something or these times, nah. I need to go to somebody who can solve my problem. And I could see this from this guy, right? he's somebody that seems to have always depended on people that just call in, right?
Yeah,
And he's like,
new business
never
is-
had a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man, this is what I got. This is good. Booked another one. High five. Whoop.
Yeah.
No, not anymore.
Ring the bell. Psh.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
People
this
aren't
thing-
calling. You're going to have to now switch up the way you do some things. You're going to have to change your direction if you want to keep going, but maybe you don't. He says he's 10 years in, Shawn.
Yeah, that's where I wonder sometimes when this happens and they start posting stuff like that, especially anonymous posts, I'm like, maybe he's trying to convince himself
To just throw the
"I don't
towel
wanna
in.
do anymore." Yeah,
I don't want to do this anymore.
you know,
Just throw the
yeah,
towel.
because he even mentioned like 10 years in, nothing's changed. It sounds like someone that's like beaten, worn out, tired, ready for something new.
There's few, I think the 21 to 35. You get past 35, it dramatically goes down. You get in your 40s, so get your 50. I mean, you don't find them, right? So we're 2025. Were his numbers off per month? So we got to go, is his 10 years off? Probably. But let's say the past 5 to 7.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah, because even if you go back, it's still, for a lot of people, that's exhausting. They're like, oh, same thing over and over and over again, and they're ready for a change. So the change he wants, from what I'm reading, doesn't sound like he wants the business to change. Because he would have, in my opinion, started trying stuff. Like, nothing in his post was, I've been trying this, I've been trying that. It was just, nothing's changed. So he's been doing the same shit over and over, day in, day out. And for most real business owners, I'd say that's not really in our nature to just, like, Marshall, you love, like, your chemical stuff you're doing now. You love it. You're passionate about it. You wake up excited for Monday.
passion bucket.
Passion
Hold up.
bucket. There were so many jokes, but I was like, no, it's off the clock, but that might be a little much still. But so passion bucket, Jesus. So it's filled up, exactly. Now imagine you had to just make the same product year after year and year after year, no improvements to it, no change, because it's working. You're basically making WD-40.
Fucking dream.
Yeah. Please tell me that wouldn't be the truth. I think
It is a dream. How could I? I understand this guy. I'm with him. I'm with him, Shawn. I'm with him. It's a dream. If I could I could do the same thing over and over every day and never change, and keep making, and then know that I'm going to make even more money, I'm in. Sign me up for it, Shawn. Sign me up.
That's the key part, though. But nothing else is going to improve, right? The money's not going to keep, you're not going to.
You can say that. You just say that.
Yeah,
You just say, could I make the same? Could I groundhog my day every day?
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. I could. I'm the guy that could groundhog every day and be happy, thrilled.
But if the money doesn't grow, the business doesn't grow, everything's just identical.
You can't throw that variable in, Shawn. That's not fair. That's not fair, Shawn.
That's what this guy's saying his life is. So it's fucking fair. Because reality
Shawn, it's hot out.
You gotta chase. It's hot out. Yeah, it's hot. Listen, you know what? My own shop, here's a good case in point. We've been doing, quote unquote, everything the same. We've been doing a lot of stuff the same. Pricing was more or less similar. Services were more or less the same, stuff like that. Then we had our office manager passed. And it was a wake-up call for us that we had to take a deeper look at a lot of the things that we were doing because things were going well and we were growing, but it was an opportunity for us to start looking at more aspects of the business that he was taking care of. Through that process, we started realizing, we're like, holy shit, there's some areas here, especially with the upsell side of things, where we need to make some improvements. Like, things are good. They've been staying the same, even though they were growing. Things were staying the same. We were trying the same type of Facebook ads. We were trying the same type of landing pages, things, because they were working. So we were getting growth, but it wasn't modern growth. It wasn't the kind of growth that I knew we could achieve. So I was like, we got to redo some stuff. So I even just posted, we're redoing all the graphics. I asked the group for some feedback. We're redoing the graphics outside of our shop. We could have kept them the same. A lot of people, that wouldn't be like a revenue impacting change. It's like, oh, you're just redoing the graphics. But for our customers that have been loyal and coming back, when they see improvements like that, they're like, oh, to the customer, they're seeing this place is changing. this place is going under renovations. This is happening. That's happening. So that little change impacts our revenue when we're talking to the customer now and like, yeah, you got to keep coming back. We're doing this is changing this. We're building that excitement within them, which builds the excitement within our team, which is building a lot more excitement in my wallet, which is fantastic. That trickle down effect, right? And so, but it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, we could keep just doing things the same and groundhogging ourselves in, and we would have the same, same growth, the same revenue, the same this, the same that. Or we could take a look at it and say, okay, things are going good, but they could be better. There's always areas to improve. And what we don't want to be is posting as an anonymous person in a group saying, we've been at this 10 years now. What's happened? Our numbers are down. Nothing's changed. I need help. We don't want to be that guy. So the change has to happen now, not when the numbers have dipped, when we're lost, when we're unsure. Don't get me wrong. There's never a bad time to start something new tomorrow. But why did you wait so long? If you've been at this for 10 years, if that's a real number, there's no way this was the first dip that you saw. There's no way this was the first hot day where it was too hot to work. You're just bitching about it now because you had an opportunity then and you didn't do anything about it, is what I think. And this is where that mental block comes in. So I was watching that thing, I'm sure you're familiar with it. The guy took a piece of paper, I was watching this in a documentary, took a piece of paper, a marker, and an ant.
And a what?
And an ant, like the insect. Yeah. And so the ant's walking around the piece of paper, and the guy draws a circle on the piece of paper around the ant. The ant would walk close to the edge, would see the black line, and he would turn around. And he would keep going. So if you look from the top down, you're just seeing this ant just walk around in circles, and he's not crossing this line, because in his brain, he got there, and he was like, oh shit, there's a wall there. Can't get past it. And he was just staying on one side of it. So the test was, let's make that smaller and smaller and smaller and see how small we can get it, where we trap this ant, basically, that it can't move. So he's drawn a new circle and a new circle. He'd move the ant and then start a new circle, move the ant, start a new circle. Gets to a point where it's so small that as he's drawing the circle, the ant, moving so quickly, crossed over the black line. After that happened, no matter how many times they drew the black circle, the ant just kept crossing over the line, and it knew, this is just in my brain right now. It's a mental block that's just in my brain. It doesn't exist in real life. And pushed through, no matter how many times he drew the circles. Couldn't repeat the same thing until he got a new ant. The new ant, once again, mental block, couldn't cross over it. And I think a lot of us form these black lines around ourselves. We form these circles where it's like, I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't get past this. But it's literally up here. It doesn't exist anywhere else except in your mind. So when we say things like, oh, it's too hot outside to work, or oh, it's the economy, or oh, is anyone else experiencing this? Like, we're looking for that justification for that wall that we've made. But if you just take a step back, bird's eye view, and you realize, holy shit, that wall's not real. I can actually just hop over it. And the way to hop over it is what you've been saying for years now. Take the first step. That's all you got to do. Doesn't mean you solve it tomorrow. A lot of times we look at problems and we say, it's insurmountable. Oh my God, like this other shop, he's got nice professional videos and Facebook ads, and he's doing landing pages, and he's this, that, and it's just me by myself, and I'm detailing a car, and this, that. It's hard sometimes. But sometimes, in order to accomplish big things, you got to just start with a small win. So take a look at one thing. Be like, what am I not doing that I could be doing better tomorrow? One small thing. Let me try and do that. Am I putting all my leads into OrbisX? Or am I only using it for invoices? So maybe it's time to start putting your leads in there. Okay. OrbisX can do automated follow-ups with customers that I don't have time to. Oh, let me just put in 1 week worth of automations. 1 day, 3 day, 7 day. Okay, great. I did that. The next week, set another small task. Say, you know what? I'm going to start selling HyperClean to my maintenance clients in between visits. Or I'm going to, give it as a gift to the occasional realtor that I know comes in here and tell him he can use it as open houses. I heard Marshall and Shawn talking about that on the episode. So, okay, you start small. You start with 1 or 2 little things that you can do, and those are the items you need to check off the list. We talked about checklists last week where, Gotta have my social media page and do my ads and all this and that. And you just want to check that box. But those boxes, that's a big project in my opinion. You gotta have the right ads, the right copy, the right platforms, the system of when you're gonna post, when you're not gonna post. It's a bigger project than, you know what? Let me set up a couple automations and let Luna handle all the hard work. And then I'm going to take some HyperClean product and I'm going to push that to customers in between maintenance. I'm going to reach out to other customers that haven't booked or signed up for a maintenance program and say, hey, we have this maintenance thing, and if you sign up for your first month in between visits, you're going to get a free bottle of this. And you'll be able to take care of it in between appointments until next time. There's things that you can do, and you can start doing them tomorrow. It just takes that first step to cross that circle. If not, you're just going to stay in the circle, walking around. But you know who else is in that circle? All the people that I saw commenting on that post. All the people that are saying like, oh yeah, man, me too, the economy is shit. Oh, this and that, everything. It is hot outside. Of course people don't want to detail their cars. All of that stuff. Those are all the same people that have boxed them, or circled themselves in, I should say, with that black marker. And they're just walking around together like zombies in a little field. And all you got to do is take that first step. And on the other side is a whole new world. It's a bright world because there's millions and millions and millions of people every day that wake up with money to spend, a paycheck to to blow on different things. And there's one thing we all know is, if we've learned anything since the pandemic, people love cleanliness. People are scared of getting sick. People are still buying and selling cars. People appreciate cleanliness. There's going to be the odd outlier there here for sure. But we've told you tons of funnels and customers you can go after that meet these demographics. So just go back, re-listen to the episodes and be like, okay, I'm making my list. I'm going to target those people because they wake up every day with credit cards ready to swipe. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. That's my rant for the day.
Great rant. Great way to finish, I mean, if we constantly just kept that in our mind throughout the day, every day we wake up believing.
Yeah.
Every night we go to bed positively talking about what we've done and believing in the positive things for tomorrow.
100%. Tackle one thing. One thing. You do one thing a day, you're doing 365 things a year. That's it. Just think about that. And then what do you do next year? It compounds, right? So everything you're doing today builds on top of what you did yesterday. You get better at it. You set up new things. It's a lot easier than you think, guys. That line doesn't exist. It really doesn't. But yeah, I'll leave it there, guys. So go, take that first step. Reach out, get some HyperClean. The new customer portal is about to launch. It's going to be a game changer. Your customers will be able to manage their appointments and all that stuff in a much more advanced capacity than they can do now. And they'll be able to even order some HyperClean products in between appointments, and you'll be able to earn commission on it. I don't know what else to do. I woke
Chicken
up.
dinner.
You know what I'm saying? Chicken dinner. I woke up, I saw the circle, I took the first step outside of it, and now I'm just asking you, grab my hand, we'll take another step together, and you're going to make a lot of money in the process. It's really that simple, guys. Yeah. Rant is done now. I'm preaching today. Marshall, as always, man, appreciate you. All right, guys, tune in. We got some exciting stuff coming. My rentals are done now, so I'm back full force coding. Pay attention, Customer Hub is launching, and there'll be some exciting stuff there. I'll announce with how HyperClean ties into that as well to help you guys make more money. That's what this is about. So you don't have to be an anonymous poster online saying nothing's changed. Here we go, because everything's changing. All right, man. Appreciate you as always. We'll see you guys next week. Salud.
Salud.
Cheers.